I'm going to get focused here and break down exactly what we're facing as a society. This is not my opinion. It's absolute hardcore fact detailed in my film Endgame Blueprint for Global Enslavement in their words, in their statements, on record. A lot of people died, by the way, to bring in this information. Why am I still alive? By the grace of God, but also because I put my information out. If they kill me, it'll only make me stronger. That's why they do endless hit pieces all over national, international television against me. I was attacked by the New York Times savagely on Thursday. It means nothing. It means nothing to me except that I'm doing my job and that people will then come find out what we really talk about here, not the cliches, not the stereotypes that the media tries to put out, the dying corporate whore media of the New World Order. And then I'm going to your phone calls. KJ, Bob, and many, many others like Ken that are patiently holding toll-free number to join us, 877-590-5525. All right, listen to this PR piece. Second mainstream news article about the secret meeting. First one last Wednesday by ABC News about rich meet in secret meeting, but nothing about Bilderberg. This is separate from Bilderberg. This is covered in Endgame. We identify Bilderberg and this Eugenics organization, this elite coterie. I ought to give it a name. I don't know the best name to give it. The Star Chamber of Death, the Death Group, the Eugenics Group, the Overlord Group, I don't know what you call it, Operation Overlord. Billionaire Club in bid to curb overpopulation. And they have Miss America come out and, spelling bee champions, the NFL, whatever's corporate, it's we've got to reduce population, greenhouse gases and have licenses to have children. And then they, it's like second nature, common sense. Well, of course we've got to get rid of people. Oh, really? But did you know you're one of them and your children are one of them? Did you know the globalists actually are suppressing technologies that could let our population continue to grow? Again, I'm going to break that down coming up later. But I want to head off at the pass your preconceived brainwashing. Why do you have this view? Why do you have this view that will enslave you and your family? Why do you have this view that's already the rationale for the elite to put what they do in the water, to put what they do in the vaccines, to put what they do in the baby's milk, in the formula, and in the corn syrup, all centralized with just 2 or 3 big companies owning and running it? And anywhere you see that, just like poison in a well, that's how the elite come at the people. Billionaire Club in bid to curb overpopulation. America's richest people meet to discuss ways of tackling a disastrous environmental, social, and industrial threat. Now, they've met many times in the past. This began getting, coming out in alternative media like this operation, so they're now putting spin on it. Some of America's leading billionaires have met secretly to consider how their wealth could be used to slow the growth of the world's population and speed up improvements in health and education. Everybody knows stuff done in the dark's not good. Stuff done in the sunshine is. Now, what did I tell you about in Endgame? I list these people by name in the film and say they're meeting secretly. We broke this, and I'm proud of it. And the reason I keep pointing out we broke this, we broke that, because you better listen up here. The philanthropists who attended the summit convened on the initiative of Bill Gates, the Microsoft co-founder, discussed joining forces to overcome political and religious obstacles to change. Now, what does Bilderberg do? We've always pointed this out. Now they've released many of their minutes because they've been exposed. They're now bragging. They got powerful elites together to push to set up the European Union so they could control the new system that was set up so it would be undemocratic. You see, when you create a new system, you get to write the rules. It's not just that global government's bad, it's that it's being set up by bad people. You know it's bad. I get emails going, well, in Star Trek, it's a global government and it's good. Yeah, and the Star Trek symbol, is the UN symbol. Again, it's called predictive programming. This is like Captain Planet, funded by Ted Turner, who calls you useless eaters. It's not about saving the earth. It's about saying the elite get to set the rules and control you and micromanage your life for neo-serfdom to control your life in the name of saving the environment, while the elite actually do a lot of things that are bad for the earth. Let me continue. The philanthropist who attended a summit convened on the initiative of Bill Gates, the Microsoft co-founder, discussed joining forces to overcome political and religious obstacles to change. Described as the Good Club by one insider, it included David Rockefeller, Jr., the patriarch of America's wealthiest dynasty, the open funder of Hitler, by the way. His father funded Hitler publicly. He's a big eugenicist. You can go look at the Rockefeller Foundation. Google Rockefeller Foundation Eugenics. You'll be at the Encyclopedia Britannica. They single-handedly funded the Kaiser Wilhelm Institute and Adolf Hitler. They wrote the entire book on it. Just like IBM made the Hollerith machines. You know those little tattoos they put on people's skins in the camps? That was entered in the Hollerith machine. That was the code. It's, by the way, IBM running the Human Genome Project for eugenics purposes right now. And it's IBM that runs that program where the government for 36 years takes your baby's blood at birth without asking you. And I told you that 14 years ago. It's now mainstream news. See, they don't care. They want your blood, folks. So they got your number. Described as the Good Club by one insider, it included, the Good Club. Let's call it the Evil Club. Described as the Good Club by one insider included David Rockefeller Jr., the patriarch of America's wealthiest dynasty, Warren Buffett, and George Soros, the financiers, Michael Bloomberg, the mayor of New York, and the media moguls Ted Turner and Oprah Winfrey. All of them push world government. All of them push population reduction. These members, along with Gates, have given away more than $45 billion. And that's pounds. That's $85 billion. And that's Bill Gates and Buffett have given more than 80+ billion. We cover that again in Endgame. 45 billion pounds since 1996 to causes ranging from health programs in developing countries to ghetto schools nearer to home. Now, folks, let me explain how this works. If you try to set up a tax-free foundation and you have billions of dollars and it isn't for eugenics, they don't allow you to have that trust. The Rockefeller Brothers Trust, the Bill and Melinda Gates Trust that Buffett put his money in, the Ted Turner Trust, all of it goes to eugenics and sterilization and special formula programs for African and Latin American children. I'm not making this up, and then it turns out the kids start dying when they drink it. I mean, go read it. This is some great... Folks, I am exposing the actual 21st century Nazis. These people are the ones whose daddies and mommies funded Hitler. Hitler was just a bad son who got off track. You understand, you're being given information nobody else has put together. I get death threats over this. You understand, I'm sticking my neck in the guillotine to warn you. Stop drinking their formula. Stop eating their corn syrup. Stop taking their shots. Do you understand? Stop drinking tap water. Stop showering in it. That's why you can't get upset. It's why you're stupid. It's why you're foggy mentally. There were over 100 million prescriptions for Prozac last year. Of course you're depressed drinking fluoride. Then they give you another fluoride-based drug. They gathered at the home of the senior Paul Nurse, a British Nobel Prize biochemist. Oh, biochemist. Why don't you go look at the discoveries he made? And president of the private Rockefeller University in Manhattan. On May 5th, the informal afternoon session was so discreet that some of the billionaire's aides were told they were at a security briefings. Stacy Palmer, editor of the Chronicle of Philanthropy, said the summit was unprecedented. We only learned about it afterwards by accident. Normally these people are happy to talk good causes, but this is different. Oh, you bet it's different. Maybe because they don't want to be seen as a global cabal, he said. Remember, this is the same media that told you Bilderberg didn't exist until we forced it out. Now the same people that are putting out Terminator Salvation are putting out a Bilderberg Group media movie. Oh, yeah, I'll tell you about that later. I'm going to finish up with this. Take your phone calls coming up. But this is so important. Please look into it. Please stop worrying about liberal versus conservative and all this sideshow diversion. Eugenics, control grid. Stay with us.